The year 2040 sounds pretty far off, but at the rate the Tri-County is growing without proper planning and innovation, the Lowcountry could find itself behind the 8 ball. Joining us with an opportunity to have your voice heard is Catherine Basha, Planning Director for the Tri-County Council of Governments, and Christy Rainwater, Mayor for the City of Hanahan. Ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So you had a meeting, and so people were able to come, talk about their ideas, gripes, concerns. There's still going to be an opportunity for this conversation to continue, right? But when we're talking about the future of the Tri-County area, what are some of our biggest concerns? Why don't we start with you, Catherine?
Well, on a regional basis, the biggest concern always is that comes up is traffic. And then specifically to Hanahan, I mean, this is an opportunity for them to kind of bring it down to a more local level and talk about their concerns about not only traffic, but maybe other avenues or issues related to growth in their own backyard.
Yeah,
so.
and for you, Mayor, what are your constituents saying that they'd like to see in the future of Hanahan, and how much has Hanahan grown, let's just say, in the last 5 years?
Hanahan's growth has been enormous. Actually, in the past 10 years, they've grown over 60%. So it's been amazing to watch. And the interesting thing about Hanahan is they've really had the ability to keep that small town feel culture while maintaining this growth. But what we want to do is make sure we're very purposeful in continued growth, to be wise and see exactly what our constituents do want, and then hopefully step forward in that direction. So that's exactly why these meetings have taken place, and the continued opportunity to give input.
I know some people who've moved up to Hanahan and left downtown Charleston. They want to kind of get away from the city center. So is that what you're seeing a lot of, or are you also seeing people just coming in from outside the state even and settling in Hanahan?
Well, Hanahan's such a special place. A lot of our residents have been born and raised there, which I absolutely love. You'll see generations of families there because it is just truly such a place where heart is felt and they want to be there. But there has been a lot of growth, and some of that is from the Lowcountry area, people just realizing Hanahan, we like to call it a secret gem, and coming there, but also out of state, people are coming to make Hanahan home.
And depending on which county we're talking about, there's Charleston, Dorchester, Berkeley County, are we seeing just tremendous growth in Charleston and then the other counties are starting to catch up, or is everybody coming up at the same time, would you say, Catherine?
No, I would say actually, Charleston County has absorbed a lot of the growth in the past, but now Berkeley and Dorchester are actually getting a lot more growth. Proportionately, they are growing faster. And
yeah.
Berkeley County is one of the fastest growing counties in the state, so it's taking it on, and Hanahan provides such a nice community atmosphere. I think that's why a lot of people have chosen to live there.
Isn't it remarkable? And they all say, all the experts, all the statisticians say that the speed of growth is far faster than what they had ever expected. So when you say in the last 10 years it's grown by 60%,
60%.
Were we thinking that maybe that was like in 20 years it was going to be 60% or 50%? It just seems exponential.
I agree. I don't necessarily know people planned on it, but sometimes when something's good, everyone wants to jump on it. And so that's exactly why these meetings are taking place, because there will be continued growth, not necessarily at that pace, but to make sure that it's purposeful in our steps.
So it's called Hanahan 2040 Pathway to the Future. So traffic, you had mentioned, Catherine, that's a big deal, and I think everybody can relate to that. For you, Mayor, what other areas do you see, whether it's industry, commercial development, where are you seeing the need? Where are constituents asking for improvements to be made?
One focus is really on our economic development. So we've seen Hanahan grow in bedroom size, but our downtown area has not necessarily kept that same pace of growth. Yet the quality of life features, being able to go to the doctor or the store, they are growing with it. But what's happening is our residents wind up having to leave the city limits for these services. And it's just a wonderful thing after battling traffic to get home from work to be able to just go up the block or stay local. And of course that always has benefits as well, just with our own pocketbook. Instead of investing in other cities through tax dollars, by investing in your own city, you reinvest in your own pocketbook. And so providing those quality of services through economic development is something that I see definitely in the future of the city of Hanahan.
Yeah, because we've spoken to Mayor Will Haney of Mount Pleasant, we've spoken to Councilman Gary Santos as well, and saying that there is a way to create economic growth without too much density, without taxing, overtaxing, and so forth. So do you see some initiatives that are out there that the people of Hanahan are not going to have to pay even more out of their pocket in order to see those developments happen?
Well, and that's really the goal for us because we are mostly bedrooms.
Yeah.
By bringing in business, their tax rate is higher. So it'll keep their taxes low. We have one of the lowest tax bases in the Low Country in the city of Hanahan. And so by bringing in business, that will allow those rooftops to keep that low tax rate. So that's one of the reasons we're doing that, is to protect those numbers.
Ladies, I'm going to toss this question to either one of you. So for people who are still interested in voicing their, having their voice heard, where do they go?
So if you go to the BCDCOG.com website, there is a page there specifically for the Hanahan Comp Plan, and we have posted the online meeting that we held last Thursday on there, and people can participate, go through the whole meeting and listen to what we presented, and then provide input right there. And there's a survey they can fill out as well.
2040, 18 years from now. It's going to go by like this. Sounds like a lot, but it's not.
It does go by
Ladies,
fast.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks
We're
so much
back
for
after
having
this.
us.
Sure.